Hello my fellow smug ones. Well, you know, from what I've heard, Tony Blair claims that we'll all need to pay more tax, yet apparently he's done the opposite and saved a load of it. Let's begin. Okay, this story is from the Daily Express and it says, one rule for them, Britons fume as Tony Blair saves £312,000 on stamp duty. And you know, that always seems to be the way nowadays, doesn't it? The rich often appear to find ways of avoiding something that the rest of us just can't. I mean, take bankruptcy for example. How often do we hear nowadays that a star declares themselves bankrupt, but yet the next week they are off on holiday living the high life? Anyway, the Blairs saved £312,000 by not paying stamp duty on a London property after acquiring a company in the British Virgin Islands, according to the Pandora Papers leak. Following the release of the news, political commentator and Brexiteer Darren Grimes hit out at the Blairs. He said on Twitter, "Rules for thee, but not for me." And his tweet was accompanied with a picture of Mr. Blair claiming Britons need to pay more tax in order to pay the money off borrowed to soften the blow of the pandemic. Following his comment, some took to Twitter to criticise the former Prime Minister. And to be honest, I'm not surprised, as it does seem quite hypocritical in my opinion. Let's see what some have put. Stephen Baseby said, "As it ever was for Blair/Brown, best comedy act since Morecambe and Wise, but the jokes went over our heads for years." Steve P added, "Another example of Blair's socialism. Sacrifice principles for personal benefit, both power and also, it seems, wealth." Ken Roberts said, like every politician before him, Tony Blair is looking out for Tony Blair. And these are all very good points in my opinion, especially the last one. Anyway, according to The Guardian, the former Prime Minister and his wife became the owners of a £6.5 million office building by acquiring a British Virgin Islands company. The tax was saved as the Blairs purchased the property's holding company, but not the building itself. Thus, they were not required to pay the stamp duty. Although there is nothing illegal about the transaction and there's no evidence that the Blairs attempted to avoid the stamp duty, it highlights a loophole which means property owners do not need to pay tax on property buy. And you know, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that we should pay more tax, but I do think that closing a loophole that probably only the rich or wealthy people could have the opportunity to use would be a good idea. YouTube's algorithm thinks you'd like to see one of these videos next, so let me know if it's right.